What's up, Ryan? Mr. Ryan. Trying to redo the seal on the garage door. Oh yeah, she's good. The baby's great. She's she's full of piss and vinegar already. She's doing awesome. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I don't know if you guys have ever changed the strip on a garage door. I mean, if I put this here, maybe you can see it right here. But if you change the seal on a garage door, a lot of times on these garage doors, they have set right behind these strips. They have they'll be like set pins or like things screwed in that stop it from coming out. And then they end up getting jammed up in there, and then you got to cut them out, take them apart piece by piece. And I think they only have like a few sizes unless you got like a custom garage one. This one here is just a regular, I'm pretty sure it's just a regular, I might have to bring it down just a hair. Didn't want to cooperate with me. Did not want to cooperate at all. So a lot of times when people put these in here, they put them in here really crappy, and they cause more damage than good. And I am by no means a super professional at this. I'll call him back. A jack shaft on my garage. Those are super nice for clearing up ceiling space. What a man. What a man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty fine man. That's me. So anyway, behind this rubber seal, There's a screw, and then the track, and then there's a screw in the rubber that stops it from sliding. Sorry. I know Ryan will tell you I don't sing the best, but I have fun doing it. Oh yeah, baby. Here we go. And then now you just slide this gosh dang it thing off of here. Do I have pork butts being made up tonight? No, I wanted to take a little break. I've been on that smoker for the last couple days, and I wanted to take a break from it. And I told everybody, please understand, I've been putting a lot of time into it, and I want to chill until Friday. I'm not gonna touch the smoker again. I just gave out 2 more bags of sliced pork, and I gave out 2 more bags of sliced pork. And I ended up. Uh-oh. I had one like 5 or 6 pound container of pulled pork. And that went to a family in need tonight. And then 2 bags of the sliced honey barbecue pork went to a family that wanted to feed some good food to their kids. And I got 2 more, like 2.5, 3 pound bags of sliced pork in the refrigerator going out to 2 families tomorrow. So I've been getting some really good food out to people. Like I haven't stopped to take a break at all every day. I've been either cooking, driving it out to people, or cooking. Yeah, cooking and just divvying it up, putting it in baggies and stuff. Cleaning the smoker over and over again, trying to rewrap the drip tray over and over and over again. So yeah, it's been work, I can tell you that. It's not as started out easy, and then it kind of started getting a little not difficult. I don't want to say difficult, I want to say tedious. From what I understand, I was a baby that liked to do everything. I was big into like cars and trucks and stuff like that, and it made me really happy. But I loved to play with my sister. She was my best friend from what I know of her, because we didn't have a childhood together. We got separated young. I remember being like 5, 6 years old, and my sister being like, she's a year younger than me, so she would have been 4 or 5. And I remember going to a McDonald's, and my sister met this family. She got to go sit with them and talk to them. And mind you, me and my sister, I'm cleaning off the track. Me and my sister were best friends. I remember everything that we used to do, even still to this day. She was my buddy, man. So I would have. I don't care if she did anything wrong. I would have fought for her. She could have done no wrong in my eyes. And we went to this McDonald's. I've never told nobody this story, and I don't even know if I should tell anybody this story. I might just feel a little too comfortable tonight, and I haven't even been drinking. My sister, me, who I thought was my mom and dad, but wasn't my mom and dad. It was my actual uncle and aunt by marriage. Met these people in Illinois at some McDonald's, and my sister really liked them, smiling at them. There was some lady that showed up with like a briefcase, and she had a bunch of papers and stuff. And my sister really liked these people. So this lady did some paperwork. They did some signing and stuff back and forth between the parents. They made us sit up. They made me and yeah, they made me sit at another table. She had an older daughter that wasn't my sister. It was a daughter by my uncle, so she would have been my cousin. And me and her sat at the other table. And my sister was like really happy and smiling and stuff like that. And I don't know who these people were. And then we all got McDonald's and left and went back home. And then a couple weeks later, went back to that same McDonald's again and met these people. And the lady with all the papers and a legal briefcase and stuff like that was there. And my sister went and sat down with them. Ooh. Trying not to get emotional. My sister went and sat down with them. And we got told to sit at the other table away from everybody. And I never seen my sister again. They took her. And they adopted her. And DCFS, it was a DCFS caseworker that was sitting down at the table. And I never seen my sister again until my sister was 16 years old. I was in foster care. I was in just outside of Wheaton, Illinois at the time. And I got a call from a caseworker from Catholic Charities that said, hey, have you ever met your sister? And I said, I remember her from when I was a kid. I remember everything about her from when I was a kid, but I don't remember anything about her now. I haven't talked to her since we were 4 or 5 years old. And she was my best friend. And the caseworker said, we know where she's at. And I went hysterical on the phone, and I was like, where is she at? Where is she at? They said she is in a girls' home in Wheaton. She got into some trouble. And I said, trouble? They said, yeah, she ended up, the neighbor has a Jeep, and she stole the Jeep, and she went on a joyride with the Jeep. It was early in the morning, and the Jeep was sitting out there running. She lives with some really well-off to do professors of like some kind of college or school teachers and stuff out in Wheaton, Illinois, and she saw the Jeep sitting in the driveway running, warming up before the guy and the woman went to work or something like that, whoever it was, and she liked Jeeps, so she went out there and she jumped in that Jeep and she took off. And she ran from the police. She ended up crashing the Jeep into like multiple other cars at 16 years old, and they ended up locking her up and putting her in a girls' home in Wheaton, Illinois. And I drove out there to meet her, and she was sitting in this room. When I walked in this room, I started bawling my eyes out. She looked exactly like I remembered her. The same cute little face, the same short hair, the same personality, the same giggly, just my best friend. Yeah. We were happy babies. We were really happy babies, but what ended up happening is somebody saw some finger bruises on my sister and reported my sister to DCFS back when she was a baby. And when they reported my sister or reported the abuse of my sister, the bruises and stuff on her arms, DCFS did an investigation and found out that it was like my sister's birth father, which isn't the same father as my father, was basically abusing her. And I really don't know who he is. I think his name was Roger. If I remember correctly, his name was Roger. But Roger's a piece of shit. And if I ever met Roger today, I'd probably take his life, to be honest with you. I probably would. Um, but he put his hands on my sister, and my so-called mother never did anything about it. And somebody reported the fact that she was not living in very desirable conditions, and turned my so-called parents into DCFS, and she got adopted out to another family that could take care of her. So yeah, I didn't. We were very happy babies. We didn't cause no problems for nobody. It was just the fact that my grandparents died, and see, there's some of you know the story, some of you don't know the story, but it's just way too long to really get into. But my mother was young when she had me, and she was doing okay. She was being a mother. She was young. She was like, I don't know, 18, 19 years old or something like that. She had a job, and she was providing. She was barely getting by. And my father was, he was in and out of the picture a little bit. He wasn't sure how serious my mom was, but, you know, before I was born, they were living together, and my dad was in the military, and he would come home and he would see random friends over at at his house, his apartment, partying, people he didn't even know. And he would tell my mom, I don't want these people in my house that I don't know. I don't want these people partying over at my home with my old lady, and I don't even know them. I need to meet them first, and I need to know them before they start partying in my home. This is not okay. This is not acceptable. And she didn't respect that. She thought she should be able to do whatever she wanted to do without having to answer to anybody. And my dad said that it don't work that way in my house, my family. I am the man of the house, and I want to know who's coming and going from my house. And if you guys going to be partying and drinking and stuff all the time, this ain't going to happen. So they fought a lot. And he left, went back down to Alabama with his family, or his previous family, the woman that he used to be with. He got out of the service, went down there, and she lied to him and said that I died. She called him up and said, "Hey, I'm pregnant, and you're the only guy that I've been with. It's your kid for sure." And then he said, "Okay, let me know when it's about time to have the baby, and I'll fly back up to Chicago, and I'll help you get situated. I'll help you get into a place and stuff like that, whatever you need. I'll pay child support and stuff like that. I'll do all that stuff. I just don't want to be a part of your life. I'll be a part of my kid's life, but I don't want to be a part of your life." And basically, she thought that that would be a way to get him back, and he was like, "No, I'll take care of my responsibilities, but I'm not taking care of you. You don't respect me, I'm not going to respect you." And my mom called him up after I was born and basically said that I died at birth, that I was not alive. And what ended up happening is he was very sad for a very, very, very long time. And he believed her. He didn't find out about me until I was like 25 years old. Yeah, that conversation is a whole different topic. Let's just leave it at that. That conversation is for a whole different time. I could write a book about this stuff, y'all. I could write a book. Ford boss thoughts on Lori Lightfoot, former mayor of Chicago, announcing today she's running for president. Will you vote for her? Get the fuck out of here. That's a silly ass question. I never vote for that hag. Sorry, guys. I'm a nice guy, but certain things I'm very passionate about, and I don't care if I come across as a jerk. Anyway, once you pull the old strip out of this channel, there's a T channel that looks like this. and you fold this over and you feed this down through it. And this is the new one going back in, if I can get it in. Try to. I promise you I ain't had problems finding the hole. I've been very good at finding the hole. It just take me a second. I might have to throw some flour on it sometimes to find the wet spot, but I'm gonna find it. I promise you. Oh yeah. What happened? What'd you do? Oh, appreciate that, man. Thanks for the donation towards these. Um, I yeah, these people have been getting fed, man. They've been getting fed good. I like taking care of people, and I like seeing them happy, especially when I know they have kids and they're young people that are struggling. A lot of young people and a lot of older people are struggling. There's a lot of, you bastard. There's a lot of grandmas and grandpas out here that have custody of their grandkids. So I feel bad for them. You prick. I might have to. This wants to keep coming out of the channel right here. Ow. Why, you dirty dog? Okay, that worked. I might have to close the gap up a little bit because it keeps trying to slip out. So I'm gonna have to get a pair of pliers and close the channel up just a little. What the heck happened? Huh, I don't know what that was all about. Absolutely. Always wanted to be a mechanic since I was a kid. Either that or a truck driver. Since I was a child, I knew that's what I wanted to be. So I ended up pulling about a dozen pair of pants out of my my dresser because they're way too big for me. Some of them are brand new and I never even wore them. Been losing all this weight lately, getting healthier. The doctor, when we went in, he was like, man, you guys are doing great. And blood pressure's perfect, labs look good. feeling great. But for some reason lately, after cutting out all the garbage and the sugar and stuff, it's been a few months since I've done it, you know. It's I'm getting to the point where my body's trying to adjust to the different energy levels and stuff because I'm not eating all the garbage. Come on. There's like no room. Come on. Come on, there we go. It's going. A little bit at a time, it's going. It's just you really need two people to do something like this. One person, it just makes it harder. You can sit here and fight it, but eventually you're going to get stuck and have to ask for help. Most of the time, I got to have somebody come along and pull it while I'm trying to feed it. But Ryan told me to screw off, and he don't want to help tonight, so I'm going to blame it on Ryan. It's Ryan's fault. There we go. That's thinking with your dipstick. There we go. This will give you a damn arm workout for sure. Oh, shoulders are on fire. Have the gangs taken over the grocery stores? No. You got to raise the door all the way up to get the bottom one. I don't know. I've seen everybody just do it like this, about, you know, eye height. How's the knee? What do you... Monday I should be back to work. Oh, from Rockford. Beautiful. Beautiful. I used to live out in Rockford. Lived out there for a little bit, about 6 months. Didn't like it. I wish I would have been out in the country part of Rockford, but I was in town and I didn't care for it too much. A lot of mischievous stuff going on. A lot of gas station takeovers and stuff right down the street from my house. I was definitely in the wrong part of Rockford. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's do this. A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time, right? Well, not right at about halfway almost, I think. Give the shoulder a little break. Yeah, I should have sprayed it first. You know what? I could probably still spray it a little bit. Let me spray it a little bit. You're right. I forgot about that. You can spray it in, and it makes it easier. I got that Freol stuff from Tub of Towels, or the company that owns Tub of Towels. That stuff will work. Where the heck is it at? Oh, I got it. There it is. Am I in a 2X shirt? Close. Close. I had a 3X shirt on today and it was like extremely loose. It was actually a sweater, one of my tight sweaters that I haven't worn in like 3 years. I almost cried putting it on. It felt good, man. Feels, you know, feels good being healthier. I put it on and I sat there for a moment, just kind of quiet and silent. It just depends on the shirt. The long ones might be just a little too long. Sometimes I do have to get the tall shirts because the regular 3X shirts don't fit right. Come on, you bastard. This has got that, there's a little tube in the inside of it that helps with sealing, and it's fighting me as I'm trying to slide this together. Okay, shoulder break. Oh. Got no room in this corner right here. It's the tube that's on the, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a tube in the center of it. And it's causing the problem for me. It's causing it to be more stiff than what it needs to be when I'm trying to bend it and maneuver it. Come on. I'm gonna go see if I can get my wife to come out here real quick, or my daughter. Okay, I'm here. I know there's probably like 20 people that left already because they couldn't stand here and stare at my beautiful face, but my daughter's coming right now. And my daughter's big into makeup. And she did this like really scary, like really cool looking image on her face. So I want you guys to ask about it when she gets out here. Because I told her it looks extremely good. She's only 13 years old. And she's like, Dad, it's terrible. And I was like, oh my God, no, it's not. I could never come close to doing what you just did. Yeah?
What do you need me with?
Wow, it looks great. Good. Can you pull this as I'm trying to just slightly give it a pull? As don't pull it down, pull it that way. There's a channel right here that they're in, and I need to pull. You can put one hand there and one hand here, and I'll feed it, but don't over pull because you'll rip it from over here. Okay. Don't pull too hard to where you hurt yourself. Hold on. Just a real light pull, nothing crazy. Don't go too crazy, babe. Hold on. Feels like it's getting stuck somewhere right there. Don't push up. Okay. Okay. A little bit at a time. If your shoulders start to get tired, let me know and then we'll stop. What happened?
I pulling my shoulders down and
hit the bar?
Huh?
You just hit the bar? What the heck? Oh, my shoulders are on fire. I should have put this phone on Do Not Disturb before I came out here. I said I should have put this phone on Do Not Disturb before I came out here. It's like people trying to call me and text me while I'm in the middle of a live stream.
get so much more.
You get this. Yeah, we gotta go all the way to the end. Right there.
Mom.
Come here. Look at the camera. Hey, see? They like it. It looks cool. Ow. Remember, don't pull too hard.
I don't think I am.
Let go. All right, try. Oh, we're in the last like 4 feet.
This much more.
Yeah. Hold on, baby. Okay. Cool. God, this sucks. Shoulder is on fire. Okay. Pull. All right. Yep, good pull, good pull. Hold on. Pull. Hold on. It's getting jammed. It's getting stuck somewhere. Go. Good pull. Stop fucking texting me. Jeez. Whoa. Okay. Go more towards the end. Oh my God, if this phone keeps going off, I'm gonna freak. Alright. It's like every freaking YouTuber that I'm subscribed to that I'm trying to show support all loading videos right now. What? Are you pulling? Hold on. When it gets stuck like that, we gotta go back and then go forward. Pull. Go back to your spot over here in the middle. Oh no, stop. Completely stop. Get the light. Oh no, there's no light. It's not that, it's this rubber popped out of this channel right here. Now I gotta get it back in. And I don't wanna screw the rubber up. Get that light right there. It's that black little box thing. Right there. Hold on, baby. I'm not trying to do that. Come right here with it. Damn it, man. Go down or go behind you and pull a little. No. Go back where you were at down there. Hold on. Let me get situated here. All right, pull. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Okay, that went. Only could only do a little bit at a time right now until this channel gets lined back up the way it's supposed to be. That went. I think it's back in. Go to the end. Hold it.
Hold?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, shoulders are on fire. Go ahead. Hold on. All right, get ready to pull. Hold on. Go ahead. Good. Stop. It's that tube. There's a tube in the middle that helps seal. And whenever I line this up and I get it lined up to pull, the tube tries to kink, and then I got to press in the center to straighten the tube out. Go ahead. How much more? Like, what, a foot and a half? Pull. Okay. Pull. Okay. Hold on, we almost got it. Damn it. Keep an eye on how much you got behind you. Break time. Freaking shoulder workout, baby.
Tired.
Yeah, it's very tiring. All right. How much more? Okay, about 8 inches. How much more? No. Really? Let me see. Didn't come up that much. No, it's not. It's that much.
Well, it's bigger. Maybe it's less. I don't know.
We might end up having to use this whole thing.
I'm blind. Glasses.
All right. Look at it.
Very little.
Very little. Okay. Pull. Hold on. Okay. That's it?
Kind of looks very close to the end of the
A little bit more.
There we go.
Okay. You want me to fix it?
No,
They liked it.
I don't.
They liked it.
I don't.
Just give them one look. Come on. No? All right, then. Fine. Fine, be that way.
What do you mean?
You
Be
did-
that way.
Be that way then, because you look really good. You did a great job, and you're cutting yourself short, and you don't need to. You did an excellent job.
Let's put in a smile.
I messed up on my smile. Okay. Let's see how it closes. Hey, show him. Come on, show him. Come on, you big sissy. Show him. Stop hiding. Close the garage door. Let's see how it closes. Close the garage door, not open the garage door. Hold on. You put the jacket in front of the lens right here. All right, close it. Try again. One of the sensors is not lined up properly. Try now. How about now? Try again. Why the hell is it doing that? Try it. Try it. What the hell? Okay, try. Try. See if you go over, stay by it. Yeah. What in the fuck? Now? They're both pointing at each other. Nothing's blocking it. Try it. What are you pushing? The hell is the issue? Something's wrong with this sensor over here because it's got a warning light on the back of it. Is that a warning light? Or is that a power light? One of the lights has a what time is it over here? It is 6:48. One of the lights has a yellow light lit up on the back of it, or the sensors has a yellow light lit up on the back of it, and the other one doesn't. Well, this one's orange, but that one over there is not even on. Go ahead, Ben. You good?
Oh, I can leave?
Yeah, you're fine. I figured out what it was. It was this right here. This connection that connects the two wires together. The wire was just barely sitting inside the housing of it. Just basically fell right out. Now it's that one's green and this one over here is orange. Well, it only seals better on half of it. The other half it doesn't seal better on because the ground's starting to sink over in that corner. So, does it work better? Yeah. Is it sealed completely? No, it's not. That's like a 1-inch gap over there. And like right in here, it's like a 1/4-inch gap to a 1-inch gap. This crack in the floor, and then the ground settled about probably a little bit more, probably about 3/4 of an inch over the last 3 years. It was just barely a gap on that side, but over the last 3 years, it's went down about another 3/4 of an inch. The only thing that I can do is, I was given several suggestions on just taking everything from this side of the garage, moving it over to the other side of the garage, and then cleaning this side of the floor real good, and then laying a layer of material on top of what's already here, like some kind of heavy-duty concrete to level it all back out and not fix the floor and just leave it alone the way it is. Several people have told me just clean the crack out, seal the crack, seal up the floor, and just leave it alone the way it is until you're ready to like replace the garage. Because in order to level this floor with as thick as this concrete is, I had a contractor come out here and he said it'd be almost like $16,000-$17,000 because we have to dig under the foundation of this, and then we've got to put these big metal plate jacks that screw, and they're permanent. We give you a lifetime warranty on the repair, but we got to dig underneath the foundation here. Then we got to dig back underneath it, and we got to put these big 24-inch by 24-inch plate jacks, and we'll probably have to put one there, one over here, one in the middle, one down there on the other side, or two down there on the other side. And he said that will support this foundation for its lifetime, but we got to dig down to like rock bed in order to do that. And then basically we screw those up into the bottom of where they mate with the cement, and we jack the concrete and stuff back up that way. And then we refill everything in underneath it, and it'll never sink again. The problem is, it's like $16,000, $17,000, $18,000 to do that for an entire half of a slab like this. So they said that there's that, or there's a guy local here that does concrete cutting. He'll come in here and he'll actually cut the perimeter of the wall all the way around, and he'll bust up this floor, take it out, and then he'll put those concrete strips, the expansion strips, all along the outside, and he'll re-pour the inside of this floor after he levels that corner out, and then you won't have to worry about this anymore. You can buy a rubber seal to mate to your door that will help. Well, I just put a rubber seal on the door that has the extra channeling in it that's supposed to help seal, and it did help seal right in here where there was exposure before. Now there's no exposure, but that big wide open gap over there, it don't help that side. I mean, yeah, it'll seal up a little bit, UP, but it's not gonna come up like a whole inch. It's not gonna clear it up. What I thought about doing was going out and, I know this is kind of redneck, but I thought about going and getting like a pool noodle and cutting it down the center and taking a pool noodle and sticking it over the bottom of the door and letting that foam seal up the rest of that. So yeah, it's going to look goofy going up and down, but at least the garage will be sealed over the wintertime and there won't be no heat escaping out of it. So this is, yeah, this is a tough one. I think what I'm going to end up having to do is, Well, I just put this one in here. This one's supposed to help with the garage door sealing because it's got that extra tube inside this rubber piece. And it's supposed to help keep it expanded and then settle and then seal. Like this side right here will go flat as it settles, and that side will continue to come down a little bit. It'll seal a little bit more, but right now it's sticking up quite a bit. I mean, for right now, I could get by with just sticking a damn pool noodle on there. Keep some of the heat in here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. So, anyway, on to more important things. Like sitting my ass down in this chair. Oh, because I'm going to be busy all day tomorrow. Oh, yeah, yeah. Do I have water runoff go to that door? No. No. Everything around this garage is canted away from this garage. So none of the water collects anywhere around that corner. It actually runs between me and the neighbor's house 2 or 3 feet out and then goes right down towards the ditch. So it's I don't know. I'd probably just tear the whole damn thing down and have a new garage built here. What's up, son? What's up, my chocolate son? EMP attack? What you talking about, Willis? Better put your phone in one of them security bags. Do you think an EMP attack is coming within a year? If so, what supplies should I have in my house? I'm a survivor. What is an EMP attack, by the way? What is an EMP attack, by the way? You mean like a electromagnetic pulse shock that will take out like computers and all kinds of stuff, take down communication. Custom garage door seal that goes to an angle. Oh, we'll think about it. Dude, I want to do that here. I got a big opening above it. I just got to finish this side over here. I got to close it up because that's where a lot of the heat goes too. I don't know. I'm tired. I am like mentally and physically exhausted with trying to do all my projects, trying to get stuff done around the house, getting ready to go back to work, hopefully Monday. Trying to work out 2 times a day, plus make all this food to feed people and stuff like that. It's exhausting. And I'll sit here and just be staring at a spot on the wall. And next thing you know, I don't even remember what happened. And I'm like, passed out. I'm exhausted. Use the seal in a step form to seal the angled gap. I mean, I could do that, but I mean, I don't know if what you're saying is take part of another seal and glue to this seal to help seal it up. Is that what you're saying? I suppose I'm not really following exactly. Hey, Rhonda. Have you ever been using a torque wrench for something, then switch over to a regular ratchet, but you're tired and you're waiting for the click, and then snap? Nope. Can't say I've done that. But if you did that, I feel sorry for you. How is things in America? Things are peachy. Just real peachy. If everyone's electricity is gone because of an attack on the electrical grid, I want to be ready. And we don't have nobody over here that's going to attack the electrical grid. What we have is people that are going to build mosques everywhere and play their prayer shit from 5 o'clock in the morning until freaking 8, 9 o'clock at night, 5 times a day. That's what we got. Well, you too, Randy. Have a blessed night. Put the seal on the slab in the step form so the door closes on it. Fuck Sharia law, man. I ain't abiding by no damn Sharia law. They can take their Sharia law and shove it up their ass. If it gets to a point where we have a bunch of them living here, then what we need to do is just disband the government completely, form our own coalitions, and then go back after them and wipe them mother off the face of the earth. Be done with it. The UK is bad right now, man. When you look at the stuff that's going on in the UK and what those people are dealing with over there, all the fighting and stuff in the streets and the random attacks. They got even Africans that are Muslim that are over there talking about how Sharia law is going to take over and guys attacking people in the streets. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I wish the people from the UK would get together and overthrow their government and create their own new government and just take care of business. I didn't know Lori Littlefoot was gonna run for president. That's crazy. East London is a no-go zone. Well, that's the area that we should go to first. Y'all, we need to get on a boat. All of us. Why did that man win? Because New York is taken over by nothing but clowns. And basically 50.5% is what that Damnamni guy, whatever the hell he is, was what he got. He got 50.5% of the vote. He got 0.5 more percent. And that's how he won. And you know why the mayor didn't stay? It was there because Trump supported that mayor, even though they're not the same political affiliation. Because he endorsed him and said that he would rather him continue to stay the mayor than this new guy. And what ended up happening, I almost guarantee what ended up happening is because Trump opened his fat mouth on this and said something on, national television, on or social media where it gets all over the world anyway. He should have never said anything about it. He should have never said who he endorsed. He should have never made comments about it at all. He should have let the people of New York figure it out without opening his mouth. Because what he did when he opened his mouth and said who he supported is he gave people from New York tons of fire that hate him the ammunition to do exactly the opposite of what he was for. He should have never said anything. He should have just kept his mouth shut. Yes, if anything, he should have endorsed Slowell, the Republican, but he should have never said anything about, at least, what's the dude's name? He got the brother Cuomo, or is it Cuomo? Is his brother or something like that? He should have never said anything. He should have just kept his fucking mouth shut. Chi-Town Buster, you're right. People say a lot of stuff about him, but they don't have nothing to back it up. I get that on here all the time. The problem is sometimes Trump says way too much, and I'm critical of everybody, and sometimes I think the man should just shut his fucking mouth Stop saying some of the stuff that he says, because sometimes he does make things worse. And he should have never opened his mouth about this election. Never. And just like just like when Hamas was supposed to be leaving Gaza or backing out of Gaza, and then Trump found out they were killing all these people. Trump says, "Oh yeah, well, I hear he's actually killing gang members and stuff there as well, and I'm okay with that. I mean, that's okay. That Hamas can kill them." What the fuck did you just say? Like, seriously, dude, shut up. Like, I voted for you and I have your back, but sometimes you just need to stop talking and not say anything, because you just make things worse. You can come with receipts plus you voted for him. I bet you can come with some receipts, but not like you think. And I bet you some of the receipts that you come with are not even going to be completely factual. Because a lot of these people like to make shit up and post a lot of stuff and talk about this and that. And then when you start digging into where it came from, where the information come from, it's like, oh, that shit's not even true. Where are you, Jay? Send me your receipts to my email, son. Daddy wants to look at them. Send them to my email. Let me see what you're talking about, and then let's have a topic on it. Send me the receipts. Give me a write-up to my email about what your issues are, what you think, and then the informational receipts that you have to back it, and let Daddy look at it. And when Daddy looks at it, Daddy will do a video on it and talk about what one of his children have an issue with. And these are the receipts for it. And let's have a chat. Yeah, and sometimes they're not even talking about the thumbnails. They make it seem like it's going to be about the thumbnail, and then when you get in there and you start listening to the video, it's not even about what you thought it was about. They got to hit that 10-minute mark, man. They got to hit that 10-minute mark so they get maximized payout. It's like a minute on TikTok. If you don't hit a minute on TikTok, you're not really getting paid. And if you don't hit, if you on YouTube, if you can at least hit 10 minutes, it's and your video does extremely well, you get paid pretty good. 10 minutes is kind of like the standard for most creators. They want to try to achieve at least a 10-minute window. And the AI talking and then repeating itself for 30, 40 minutes. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. About 15 years ago, I was riding a Greyhound bus from Chicago to Philadelphia. When I got to Cleveland, Ohio, I saw 8 mosques, Muslim churches. I was stunned. Yeah, I mean, it's bad, man. It's bad. And they talk about, there was a guy today that said, what is Sharia law? And I said, I responded because nobody was really responding with what it is. And I said, my answer was anti-American law. And everybody was like, yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. It's anti-American law. But this other guy pops in, he's Palestinian, and he says, no, it's not. What's wrong with people following the Quran? And what's wrong with people taking care of the poor and the homeless, the people that need? What's wrong with people believing in their God and supporting their religion and loving everybody? There's way, way, way more to it than that. You're leaving so much shit out. So much stuff out. That's not the only reason why the charges were dismissed.
The charges were dismissed because the charges that they got him brought up on, there was a bunch of shit going on backdoor between attorneys and money and everything else. They only wanted to pin something on him because they really couldn't get him with anything. And if you look into it, the things that they gave him felonies on are only because they could. Those are all misdemeanor issues. Most of them were not even supposed to be felonies. It's if you want to talk about his money dealings before he became president and then try to hold that to him as fuel for the fire of why you don't like him or he's not doing his job, you got bigger issues than that, buddy. That shows a lot of bias. In general. I don't care if he paid some girl. I don't care if he grabbed her by the you know what. I don't care if he did this or he did that. As long as I see results. I wanted the illegals out of Illinois. That's damn sure happening. I wanted my 401k to start going up again. That's damn sure happening. And I wanted to feel safer. And it's getting there. Nice, slow, and steady. It's getting there. Yeah, ain't nothing gonna happen to him, man. Nothing's gonna happen. People talk a big game about, oh yeah, wait, he's gonna get his, he's gonna get his. They talk about this about everybody. They said it about Obama. They said it about Hillary. They said it about Joe Biden. Look at all the freaking video that was leaked on Hunter Biden from his laptop with him sniffing coke out of 13-year-old girls' ass cracks from Taiwan or whatever it is, and where he was drunk on the beach with some young girl, and he was taking her back to his room while he was all doped up, and man, this some of the video footage that was leaked was absolutely disgusting. And this is the president's son that he has signed in on business deals overseas with gas companies and everything else. You don't think that's an issue? There's a shit ton of information there, and literally almost nothing was done about it. He was held to no standard for it. This is the president of the United States that has family members that he's in business deals with that are sitting down in other countries making deals for millions upon millions of dollars. And he's got videos out there and stuff of him doing stuff with minors and children that has already been documented and shown and leaked to the world. But that's okay. That's the president. That's the president everybody wanted to be president because there was a black vice president, and Biden looked like he was doped up 4 years of his presidency and didn't know what the hell was going on, and everybody else was controlling exactly what he was saying. It's ridiculous. Nothing wrong with practicing Islam as we value freedom of religion. My issue is when they start trying to force their religion upon the rest of us, they will vote to change the laws. Exactly. I don't have a problem with people practicing what they want to practice. But I don't want that shit out in the streets in our neighborhoods. I don't want them to think they reserve any right to create their own police forces and patrolling agencies and stuff like that. I don't want them to think that they can just automatically have and buy up an entire area and displace tons of Americans that live there while they move in their own family and friends. That's a load of shit to me. You should want to come from another. There's no reasoning to come from another country to the United States and build an entire community of your people that were just like the ones overseas where you came from. You left that because you didn't want to be there. Then why are you going to come to America and rebuild the same exact thing in America? Makes no sense to me. It's like a slap in the face to everybody else. Who do I think will be the next president? J.D. Vance or Ron DeSantis? I don't really know, man. A lot of people are saying if J.D. Vance becomes the next president, it's going to be 10 times harder on people, like with laws and stuff like that, and breaking laws and legislation and stuff. Like he will drop the hammer harder than Trump has So a lot of people are scared. They don't want JD Vance to become the next president. Maybe in some situations they would want DeSantis to, but I don't really know. The economy is in trash shape right now. I have no idea how I'm making money in my 401k. No idea. My shit is skyrocketing right now, and I have no idea. No assimilation. Yeah, they don't want to assimilate with us. They think it's silly that we even think that they should try to learn how we live and learn our language and stuff like that. There's a lot of them that are here that they can't even speak our language. They have no idea who, why. I cannot stand the way the women drive. I cannot stand the way Muslim women drive, and the men too, but mainly Muslim women. They drive like like they're frozen, like they just don't know how to move. Literally, me, my wife, and the baby were headed to a doctor's appointment yesterday, and we get down 159th Street all the way out, like out in Tinley Park somewhere, and there's this Muslim girl wrapped up in her freaking hijab or whatever it is and everything. You could barely see her eyes through the freaking windshield or the. She's all wrapped up tight like somebody living in like a bubble. It's like she got sterile cloth or something on. She sees us coming in the lane. She sees us driving right past where she's going to pull out. But instead of her actually getting out and getting up to speed and going, she goes, I think I'm just going to pull out nice and slow and ease on to I have to frickin' lay on the brakes, lay on the horn. This girl looks like she's doped up out of her mind. Then she starts putting her head back on the seat like she's about to pass out. And she's driving like 10 car lengths behind everybody else, not keeping up with traffic at all, slowing everybody else down behind her. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this broad, man? Why do every single one of them drive like that? They don't use their turn signal when they're going to switch lanes. They don't know how to pull out of a parking lot properly. They don't know how to fucking drive at all. They are the worst drivers on the road. Yeah, a lot of them don't even have licenses. They're given a Mercedes by their husband or their uncle or whatever it is. They're their uncle, husband, whoever the hell he is, and his 6 different wives or and they're BMWs, Mercedes, Range Rovers. Well, I didn't gain anything during COVID. I lost money. Do you agree with the tariff on Canada? Um, I don't know enough about the tariffs to really get into a deep conversation with it. All I know is that we've been giving them a lot of leeway for many, many years, and they've been charging us tariffs through the fucking roof. So I think it's time that we do the same thing in return. You ever been to Pontiac, Illinois? I used to live there. Yeah, I've been there. They don't drive, they just point the car. Pontiac, Illinois is nice. Pontiac Museum and Route 66 Museum is. They worried that you will encourage her to leave Islam or change to. It's called the burqa, and they should not be allowed to drive with that thing. Somebody was telling me that when they take their driving test because they can't speak English, they got to have somebody go in the back seat with them to translate. And then sometimes if they're wearing all that burqa stuff or the garments and stuff all over their face and almost blocking their face, and they can't drive, they got to go in the back while somebody else drives and takes the test for them or something. I was like, what the fuck? We're letting this stuff happen? To be fair, though, Rich, you are pretty insulted from that shitty economy due to being a physical blue-collar mechanic worker, but a lot of non-blue-collar unemployed job seekers are hurting right now. I'm not saying they're not. I mean, I don't understand why that was even a point to point out. I mean, I understand there's a lot of people that need jobs right now that are hurting. But there are jobs out there that they could go work, and they don't do it because they're not in their wheelhouse. Fuck, man, when I didn't have a job, I would go anywhere. I would go to McDonald's and get a job. And then once I worked that, until I got the job that I wanted or got like I was waiting for a position to open up or something, I'd go to a damn dollar store. I'd be a bagger somewhere. I'd work at a car wash. I don't care what it was. If it was making money, it was making money. It's better than having no money. And then I would keep looking while I was doing that. And then I would get a better job and a better job and a better job. And there was, I wouldn't go without work. It's just people don't have that mindset, though. They're waiting for what they're that they're too good to go work at a car wash. They're too good to work at a grocery store or a McDonald's or something like that. Money is money. When you got to pay the bills, you got to pay the bills. And just keep looking in the meantime for where your expertise lie. And it'll come along. But a lot of these people that are unemployed, they're not trying to go get a job. Dragnet. About 10 years ago, I saw a lady actually using a hairdryer while driving and doing her hair. This was before cars even had 110 volt outlets in them. Not sure how she pulled it off. Power inverter? Oh, shit. Mike, that sounds like James Bond. Shoo. Easy to get a date in Pontiac. Oregon in the house. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for all the mechanic videos. Well, I appreciate you. Rich, we have been getting screwed over. We have been getting screwed over tariffs. Yeah, but it's us that pays that tariff. Yes and no. It all depends on how they have it set up with their companies. Ultimately, yeah, the price does go up because somebody's got to cover the tariff. And it's going to get passed on to the end user. How every single one of the tariffs work and how every company deals with that, I don't know. Like Volkswagen. Volkswagen said, okay, so if there's going to be tariffs on all these vehicles and people aren't going to be buying these vehicles enough, then maybe we need to mess with the price of it so people don't get screwed over. And they figured out how to actually work with the pricing and stuff to compensate for the tariffs so people didn't have to pay more money. Second paycheck government employees are missing this week. Soon they will be quitting and calling TSA and air traffic controllers. I know people in both positions. Yeah, I'd seen the other day that there was a, what did they say, 58% of the delays were from air traffic control issues because people not getting paid. Canada showed their true colors the first couple months Trump spoke about tariffs. They flipped on us real fast. Well, they did. Canada's no saint either. You know, they got problems with illegals being there. They got problems with it, like Muslims and stuff coming there, and they understand. They figure out how to work the system. The elderly Muslims that come over, they end up getting on government care and stuff almost immediately. They all know how to do that now. I've been talking about people from Canada that have said a lot of Middle Eastern people have moved into their neighborhoods and displaced a lot of Canadians, pushed them out of the neighborhoods, pushed a lot of Canadian teachers and stuff out of the schools because as the neighborhoods grow, those people need jobs and they end up getting into the schools and stuff like that. And now there's a lot of Muslim teachers in the schools in specific areas. One of the families was actually talking on social media, and she said it's pretty sad that these Muslim boys they don't understand what American like TV shows and stuff are. Um, my son was wearing a Joker shirt. It had like the Batman Joker, um, and my son was wearing a Joker shirt, and he was getting off the bus to come home, and three Muslim boys came up behind him and started telling him to take that shirt off. It was bad for him to wear it, and they started pulling on him and pushing on him and stuff, and they ripped the shirt down his body, bloodied his nose, bloodied his mouth, and he walked home that way. Then he told his mom what happened. His mom went to the school, and not a single thing happened to those boys. Nothing did. They didn't do a fucking thing to them. And she said it's pretty sad because it used to be only one or two Muslim teachers in the school. Now half the teachers are Muslim teachers, and they don't care. They let these kids do whatever they want. And she said our neighborhood is nowhere the same. It's not the way we grew up. These people are here. They take over everything. They buy up the businesses. They buy up the apartment buildings, the houses, and they just make people just feel extremely uncomfortable. Watched the talk show with Senator Kennedy. He says Schumer is looking for a way to give in and save face. He's calling a few key Democrats, asking them to open it up. He will chastise them for it, even though he asked to make it, I bet, probably to make it look like they're getting, shunned or something for. Volkswagen is finished. How have you seen how expensive, ugly, and unreliable their new cars are? It's a joke. Here in the UK, a base model Golf is just under 40. Yeah, it's rough, man. Craples is dude. I won't go back there anymore. Craples is now under new management. We used to go there all the time. I used to go with my wife for a random steak dinner because you used to be able to go to Craples and get like a 22-ounce like freaking ribeye or something like that, a big old giant ribeye. You get a nice meal, you can have a drink or something like that, and you'd walk away 120 or 150 bucks, with a decent steak meal and a drink with a tip and everything like that. You walk out of there 150 bucks, you're like, yeah, that was a great dinner. Now you go to Craples and you order that same dinner and that same drink, and or don't even order the drink, just order the dinner, and it's like $175 for the two dinners by itself. It's absolutely ridiculous now. The pricing there. I guess Gibson's management came in to manage the joint, and it's absolutely terrible. I'm not going to go spend $250 on a basic steak dinner from a local joint like that. It's not going to happen. They went up $100 to even leave the place with two steak dinners and no drinks. I'm not. No, I'm done going there. We won't step back in that place. So that's what's going on with Craples, Rich. So am I ready for winter? Hell no, I'm not ready for winter. I don't like. I mean, I like it cold, but now the more weight that I lose and stuff, the harder it's for me to get warm. So it almost hurts now whenever it's starting to get cold. Like at night when it's cold like this, and I go outside, let the dogs out or something like that. It's like, oh, this hurts. My joints hurt. But when I was bigger, I didn't really get as cold as everybody else, and it was way easier for me to deal with it. Now that I'm getting smaller and nothing fits anymore, I'm get back into my smaller clothes and all my big stuff. I'm just giving it away. Um, I get cold really, really easy now. Dude, I love them, man. I love going to that place. It's funny that you even mentioned that. I loved going there. It was a great spot for me and my wife to just go chill out, relax, you know, have a good, it's a great place to just catch a good vibe with people, just talk to people and stuff like that if you wanted to. People were friendly, the management's friendly. You get a good product, and then they brought in this new management from Gibson's. And with that being said, when you bring in big name management like that, and they bought the company out or whatever it is, and all the prices went up like they did, I'm all because of a name. I'm not going there. I'm done. No extra meat you freeze. I feel you, bro. We getting older. My doc trying to lower my blood pressure. I'm still warm so far though. The blood pressure, the biggest thing for blood pressure for me was, obviously losing weight. Um, but beets, cans of beets, pickled beets. You can get sweet beets. You can just get just regular beets with minimal sugar. I get the regular stuff. I don't want all the sugar and stuff in it. Um, it helps a lot with blood flow and blood pressure. I have to drink coffee to get warm. I love coffee, man. I drink coffee every day. Now, now you know how I feel when I get cold. Yeah, I do. I mean, and that's why I always used to laugh at. Remember, Jay, when I'd always laugh at you or whatever, be like, you cold? You over there shivering? And now I do the same thing. It's like I don't like it when it gets cold. I like it when it gets. I really like it when it gets cold. If I have something warm to bundle up in and I can get warm, like some nice hot cocoa or a nice hot cup of coffee, and like a fire. If you can get a fire going in the middle of go out in the backyard and get you a little fire going in the middle of a foot of snow on the ground. Pull your lawn chairs and stuff up and sit back in the snow while you got the heat in front of you and it thaws out the ground around the chairs and stuff like that. It gets so nice and warm. It's almost like the snow that's around your feet and stuff where it melts back to like away from like back behind your chairs. It's like the snow almost creates a thermal line or barrier where it kind of keeps the heat in that little circle from the fire pit. Your feet stay warm, your legs stay warm and stuff. It's really cool. Oh, Plush Horse. Oh, we love that place, man. We absolutely love that place. Plush Horse, the ice cream is so good there. I didn't do any of the COVID stuff. I didn't get a single COVID shot, and I don't plan on getting a COVID shot. I'm just not. You grew up in Dalton. I'm in Indiana now. What about that Tiffany, whatever mayor girl that they she's got all that corruption and stuff going on. Isn't she from Dalton? Just like Portillo's, they were bought out and changed things. It's everybody though, man. So Panera Bread, a couple years ago when they went from privately owned by the employees and stuff like that, and they were doing great. They were making good money. They were making profit every year. The company was doing extremely good. Then they wanted to go public. They sold 17%, or they fired 17% of their corporate staff. They put out in a newspaper article that morning that they were going public. Um, to show that they were of more value and then fired 17% of their corporate staff, which my wife was one of those people. They got fired with nothing, no incentive, no no figuring in what bonuses you would have normally got on a statistical basis, on a frequency basis, whatever you want to call it. Um, just regular base shit pay with none of the stuff that actually made it worth having the job, and said, "Yeah, there you go. You can keep your insurance for a year. You can be on Cobra for a year. Good luck." You know, Panera did that. Now the food is absolutely trash. Chipotle. I went to Chipotle about a month and a half ago, and I'm standing in line, and the girl's super disrespectful. She's like throwing her body around all over the place. But I do understand because there's only like 3 people, 4 people in this joint. They're taking online orders, they're taking walk-in orders. There's somebody in the back chopping up steaks and meats, somebody cooking food like rice and stuff like that. And I get only 4 people running the joint. It's very hard and it's very frustrating. I get that. So that's why I just typically keep my mouth shut unless there's something blatantly going on that I need to speak up about. And the girl in front of me, I says, hey, my wife likes the brown rice without like the lemon stuff, the flavoring and stuff in it, or the lime flavoring in it. Normally, you guys have a container in the back underneath in the hot shelving area. And she turns around and looks at the other employee and was like, we have brown rice back there that doesn't have the lime flavor in it. And he said, oh yeah, some people don't like the lime flavor. You got to get that big container out that's back there. It's got a seal and stuff on it. It's fresh made brown rice without the lime and stuff in it. You can order it. You can order your meal without it. She slams the freaking tray down, gets her gloves and stuff, takes her gloves off, gets new gloves to go in the back to handle the containers and stuff underneath the shelving. Then she pulls the wrapper and stuff off. She's slamming her body and stuff around. She puts the rice in the bowl like it's a huge inconvenience to her, even though it's an option. And the guy in front of me, he looks at me, this big, tall, black guy, he looks at me and he says, man, she's freaking disrespectful. And I was like, she's probably just having a bad day. I don't want to make it worse. And he stayed quiet for a second, and I stayed quiet for a second. Then he looked at her, and he was like, you can tell they locked eyes, and he actually gestured towards her like, what the fuck is your problem? And it just made her even more mad. So he was actually going to say something for me, and I was like, no, just don't, just leave it alone. And as I was walking out, there was one of the managers at the establishment, or maybe it wasn't that establishment. It was one of the managers leaving one of the other restaurants or places of business nearby was in there, and he had some tag on and it said management. And as we were walking out, we lock eyes, and he was like, yeah, man, that was kind of ridiculous. I saw what happened up there. And I said, yeah, she was just being a complete ass, but I don't want to make her day any worse. It's probably not very fair to have this much business and stuff going on while only 4 employees are back here. That kind of seems like you're stretching their employees pretty thin. And he was like, yeah, it's probably a good call that you didn't make it worse and speak up about it. She probably is having a really bad day. And then the guy says, well, it doesn't help. He says, I'm in the restaurant business, and I guess what you probably don't know is Chipotle's not privately owned anymore. They're publicly owned now. And once they became publicly owned, if you notice, the portion sizes went down. So when you order steak, it's like half of what you used to get. When you order like the carnita meat, it's half of what you used to get. They have really went downhill with their service, the amount of employees that they have working at their facilities, the amount of food that you get with what you pay for. And he said, now if you get 2 bowls with just basic bowls without extra meats and stuff in there, you're spending $40, $45 on 2 bowls. He said it's absolutely ridiculous. You used to be able to come up here for 13, 14 bucks for a bowl and walk out of here with tax and everything $30. Now it's $40 plus to even get 2 bowls from Chipotle. And the service is just absolutely dog shit. Panera Bread's that way. Chipotle's that way. There's a lot of places now that have just completely went to shit. And they're terrible. There was a super chat up here. Saw a video of water draining from F-150 Cal onto the fuse box. I sent a link to your Instagram. Any idea how to stop the water from draining onto the fuse box? Yeah, I do. What I want to do is I want to build a cover for it, and I want to make it myself, and I want to sell it as an option, an upgrade for people with F-150s, 250s, 350s, 450s, 550s. I want to build a 3D printed tray that you can pull off the existing hardware that's around that area, and you could literally just push this tray right onto the existing stud and then bolt everything back down just real lightly and have a drain where when the water runs off, it hits that trough tray area and it gets carried away from the cowl so it doesn't make it on top of the fuse box. I want to focus maybe a little bit this weekend on the prototype version of it, and maybe I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then once I show you guys what it looks like, I probably shouldn't show you what it looks like. Maybe I'll show you just you, Midwest F-150. Maybe I'll email you a picture of what it looks like, so you can give me your thoughts on it. But if I show everybody what it looks like, then it's going to be so easy for people to take my idea, and I would have to go get a utility patent on it so somebody can't steal my idea, because if I get a utility patent, then nobody can build anything like it, not even similar to it. If I get a regular patent, it just means that my idea exactly can't be stolen, but other people can build it close to it. But a utility patent protects me from other people making anything like it. Yeah, China can do it and get away with it. What were you saying? The unfortunate part about it is those people will get fed up and move to a more conservative place and then ruin it like they did their hometown. Yeah. Mr. Bearded Ford Tech. Talking to the naked mole rat Ford Tech over here. Mr. Bearded Ford Tech in the house over here, guys. Everybody say hi. Say hi. Local celebrity. Big dick hummer chick. He's a bummer chick. See that putty cat. That's a fact. He's a motherfucker hooded rat. Fella kind of hone it. Like moan it. Put the dick in the middle like. See. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm done. Chipotle's rough, man. Chipotle is rough. You know, Chi-Town, you know who my favorite rapper growing up was? Who I kind of, at one point, maybe even idolized? Which I was so stupid for it. I guess I wasn't stupid for it, but I would literally sit down and write dude's music down word for word. I'd listen to the song, and back then we couldn't get on the internet and look up lyrics and stuff, so you had to like know what the hell was going on. You had to know and listen to the song over and over and over again. And I would sit on the back porch with a spiral notebook, and every word that I could make out, I would write. And if I couldn't understand a word, I'd put a line there, but then I'd replay the song over and over and over again until I could figure out what was being said. No, Twista. I loved Twista, man. Twista. Twista was my guy. Twista was my dude, man. I would just listen to all his music. One of my foster brothers actually would, he rapped, and he actually wrote his own. He had books, like spiral notebooks, many of them with his own songs that he would rap for us, and it would be fucking good, man, real good. But we always asked him like, how come you don't ever try to go get recorded or anything like that? You know, he just wasn't that type of person that wanted to be known for rapping. He had other things going on. He was very intelligent in schoolwork and stuff like that, but he loved the hood life. He loved hanging around with gangbangers and stuff like that. He loved that life. But he was a very intelligent dude. He just didn't want to be known for rapping. He just did it as a kind of a passion, writing songs and stuff like that. And he's the one that kind of got me into listening to specific types of music because I hung out with him a lot. Thoughts on Ceratec and Valvoline Restore and Protect? I don't know, man. A lot of people say the Ceratec stops the coyote tick and stuff like that, but then when people use it, they've made so many videos on using Ceratec to stop the coyote tick, and they're like, oh yeah, I've seen on some forum, it takes the coyote tick off, like it takes it out immediately. And then they go do it, they record a video, and they're like, well, I guess it kind of sounds quieter. And then 10 more miles into the run, They give you an update and they're like, no, it doesn't sound quieter. It's still there and it's bad. It didn't help, and it's not gonna make it go away. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of adding a bunch of additives into my oil in general. So it just changes the very chemistry of the oil. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I wanna put it in there for for clearances and stuff like that and noises and buy a thicker oil that's well formulated. That's all you got to do. It's adding a bunch of stuff to just creates a band-aid if you can get it to even work. I tell people all the time, you're going to want to dump that Lucas shit and everything else in there. Just buy a thicker oil if you're going to do that, instead of dumping something in the oil that's going to change the chemistry of how the oil's designed and built. Summer of '94, only cassette tape I had. Stole it from my brother. Played Walgreens cassette player. Snoop Dogg's first album over and over and over again. Oh man, brother, that was a long time ago. What about you remember the freaking DVD players that you could remember when the DVD players came out? You could play a DVD on one side and then burn it onto a CD on the other. That you could turn around and sell it for like $2 or $3. You bought a whole stack of CDs for like $10 or $5 or something like that, or and then turn around and sell each one of them for like $3 or $4 a piece after you. Oh shoot! I better shut my mouth. Ah, good night, Rich. Is the coyote tick like the Hemi tick and kills the lifters or whatever? No, not really. When it starts up cold, when mine starts up cold, I'll get this. You know how when you heat up your barbecue pit, your grill, you fire it up and it gets nice and hot, and then once you turn the burners and stuff off, it as it's cooling down, it'll have that distinct like tick 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 tick. As it's cooling down, it'll make that distinct metal, like a little light ting tick. It'll make that sound when well, that's why they call it the barbecue tick, because whenever you first start it up and it's real cold and things are starting to get hot, it's maybe mine only does it for like about 30 seconds, maybe 30 seconds to a minute max, and then after that it's gone. It doesn't happen anymore. Have I heard it when it's warm? At times, yes, I have, depending on how hard I've been running it. But it's mainly on just warm up when I hear it, and then it goes away. Oh my God, LimeWire? Ah, wow. I'm talking 2008 bearded Fortec in Iraq. Lonely, abstinent, rich. Been a couple years since I've been with a female. LimeWire, you could find whatever you wanted on LimeWire. There was no restriction. I would try to start looking for things that were inappropriate and stuff like that, and I'd have a hooked up to my computer, and I'd grab the mouse and I'd drag the whole freaking download section all the way down, and I'd just hit download. When I'd come back, I'd have like 250 videos of whatever the hell was there just downloaded to my laptop, and I'd go through and I'd filter out all the ones I didn't want, delete them, and next time turn around and do the same thing all over again. LimeWire was bad, man. Didn't that guy get in trouble or something like that? The guy that created that? Didn't he end up going to jail or prison or something like that? 3:30 a.m. gets here fast. Good night, Rich. Good night, chat. Good night, buddy. While you work on your patent, what should I do in the meantime to protect the fuse box? uh, yeah. So I don't know. You want to cross your nut hairs, cross your head hairs, twinkle your toes together a few times, and snap your heels back and forth and say, "There's no place like home." Hope it doesn't get in your fuse box. I don't know. Just wait for my patent. All right, yo. Those of you getting off, appreciate you being here. Thanks for the super chats there, my guys. Uh, the guy lives in Indiana now. Go with the LimeWire guy. Man, I seen some stuff on LimeWire that I wish I never would have seen. I thought the whole thing with women doing stuff with animals and things like that wasn't true. It's true. It's true. Uh, I thought, like one of the videos that popped up was some Muslim guy, um, and this guy was. As soon as I seen it, I immediately deleted that shit off my laptop. But it was a Muslim guy in Iraq, and he was doing something inappropriate to an underage girl, and it was like shot right in their dingy, dusty kind of how the places where they live are hard beds with just nothing but a cover over it or something like that, and I was ugh, ugh, ugh. I never knew what the whole the donkey show was in Mexico. I know what that is now. Disgusting. I never want to see that again in my life. Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff on LimeWire that just shouldn't have been on there at all. A lot of ticks I've seen cover from Brian covers on 3.5 or EcoBoost. I don't know how far you are from this shop, but it's almost always just the 3.5 EcoBoost timing jobs. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that, the ticks that he's talking about, sure, the cold start rattle and stuff, but no, they have turbo wastegate rattles. They even all the way up to like the newer ones. There's still people still complaining about wastegate rattle. I just had a guy message me the other day, and he's like, I have excessive consumption of oil on my 24 F-150. And he was like, I have no idea why. I'm losing like a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, every 1,200 miles, and I got to replace it. And I told him, I was like, well, that's excessive consumption to me. It would be like, I think at one point in time they went as low as 1 quart every 1,500 miles. So if you're doing it every like 1,000 miles or 1,200 miles, that'd be excessive consumption. And you need to take that into the dealer. He said, I've already tried. They won't do anything about it. They said the truck's running fine. And so a lot of these manufacturers now, they have like these ridiculous not intervals, but they have these ridiculous like rules on how much can be lost during a certain period of time. And it used to never be that way, man. They used to say like a quart every 3,000 miles was normal, and then they went down to like 1,500. Then they went down to 1,000, and then I was in a GM dealer a couple years ago, and I had dropped a Ford Fusion off for a customer. He was a GM tech. The vehicle was still under warranty, extended warranty actually, not regular warranty, extended warranty. And he was like, "Hey, Rich, can I bring my mom's Ford Fusion into you and just have you do the short block and stuff in it?" And I said, "Absolutely." So he brings it in. I do the short block and stuff in it, get the vehicle all tied up and ready for him. Me and another tech, I wanted to meet him, so me and another tech at the shop actually drove out, dropped the car off for him at the dealer. He wasn't too far from us. And I was talking to him, and he said, man, some of the shit that we see as like senior techs in the dealer, like the recommendations, the service bulletins and stuff coming out that don't even make it in a regular publication, but they make it as like technician notes or service notes for us. He said they just changed the oil consumption on the newer Chevy trucks. It went from a quart every 1,000 miles to they're saying now in some situations a quart every 500 miles could be normal. Are you fucking kidding me? What are these people doing? He was like, it's bad. He said, I can't talk about the stuff that I'm talking about, because I don't have like a social media profile like you do, where you guys can talk about it very carefully and get away with it. Um, Somebody would find out who I am right away, and I'm just, I'm a nobody. I'm a small fry, and it'd be easy for them to target me and get my account smashed and get me fired from my job or whatever. And I was like, not really. I mean, if you're telling the truth. But he said the problem is this is not completely public information. This is more for service techs and stuff like that to see the service bulletins that are going on, and it's not so much made for public to know. And I said, oh, but you could tell somebody like me, and then I could get the information out. And he said, that's why I'm telling you. So it doesn't come from me, it'll come from you. I just couldn't believe what he was telling me. Marvel Mystery or Ceratec? Marvel Mystery in the fuel, no additive at all in the oil. People ask me why I've changed over the years, and it's from testing and stuff like that. It's from learning from guys like Lake Speed and watching some of the mechanics that do heavier and in-depth diagnosis and teardown and stuff. There's a smaller channel. I forget the guy's name now, but he's extremely intelligent, and he's probably closer to 50 years old, and he's been building performance stuff, and he's been working on just like cars like the rest of us work on for years. But he actually went to school to learn about oil and stuff like that, to learn about what was going on and how it was built, how it was chemically formulated and engineered. And he actually sits down and breaks down why XYZ is this and why it's that. And when I start learning from guys like Lake Speed and this fellow that I run across, I watched him for a while. He only had like 7 or 8 thousand followers. The guy was a genius, man. He had a beautiful shop, all the best tools that you can use. He had performance cars sitting around in the back. He didn't really care about YouTube too much. You can tell it was just something fun for him to do. And he had like a 1.5 hour segment where he just broke down why this and why that and why this oil and why this would work in this application and why these additives don't work and why you shouldn't be dumping, mixtures of different engine oil additives in with well formulated oil because it breaks down the specific properties and doesn't protect properly. And that's the same thing that Lake Speed does. He gets in depth like that. He talks about the FLIR analogy and how he does his lab analysis and all this other stuff. And when you start learning stuff from guys that in the field that do it professionally, you start really trying to think about, are my recommendations actually helping people, or are they just based off bro science? Basically, I used it worked for me, so it's going to work for you. And I try not to do stuff like that. So I tell people now, like, it's best to not even put stuff in the oil. I don't care what oil you use whatever you want. But it's best to not dump a bunch of stuff in an oil that's already built a specific way. But as a fuel, there are additives that actually show to work with fuel. And it's not just me that agrees with that. Even Lake Speed, he did a segment where he actually talked about there are additives that actually do work, and they do help do some extra cleaning and stuff like that, where regular fuel by itself may not do it. Just all depends on the quality of the fuel that you're getting and what you're dumping in it. But when it comes to engine oil, it's not really beneficial to put products inside the engine oil. Watching me tonight makes me feel life is normal again. See, there's the zero to 8-way oil for some cars. How can bearings get proper lube with that? Yeah, I don't know. Toyota has it with their Crown, and I heard there's actually other cars as well now. But I don't know what the guy's channel is, man. Like I said, I don't remember his name. Best Zero W8 oil. Fuck if I know. I don't run that shit. I got some of it. What is this over here? Is this 0W8 or 0W16? I wanted to send it off for lab analysis, but I tried to send, You guys know how I told you guys I was going to send ProLube off for testing, lab analysis, to figure out kind of what it comes back as. I did send it off. I sent it off to Schaefer's testing facility because I get an acidity test and everything else. And the guy that I hooked up with was one of their actual corporate reps, and he was giving the testing to me for like next to nothing because he really liked. He actually watches my videos, and he was like, I like the stuff you put out. He said, I'm actually a corporate rep for them, and I've got some big contacts, and I'll get like a testing bunch of testing kits sent out to you, and I'll get them to you for like cheap. And we'll do the full analysis for like $20 a test, because it's you. And he said, and then if you want to say something about us, you can, but you don't have to. And I sent ProLube out to them to have them test it, and they emailed me back saying, "What is this product?" And I said, "Well, I told you guys what the product is on the label. I wrote it all on there." And they said, "Yeah, but can you explain a little bit more?" And I said, "Yeah, it's an additive that goes in oil, and it's supposed to quieten it down and all this other shit." And they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to run this additive through our machines." And I was like, "Why? What if I took that additive and put it in oil and sent you guys in a sample and didn't tell you about the additive that was in the oil? You'd run it through the machine anyway, right?" And basically they were like, "Yeah, but if you're telling us that this is an additive and we know that our machines are set up for just motor oil, we don't want to take a chance with an additive that we're not familiar with running it through our testing equipment, so we're just not going to test it." I thought they would send me the sample back, but they didn't. So now I got to find somebody else that will test the sample, that won't ask questions like that. So yeah, I've got a quart of that water right here. I ordered this last year. It probably took about 2 months to show up at my house. I couldn't find it anywhere at the time other than eBay. And it was Toyota 0W8, and they're the first ones that actually have it available or something. So I paid like $23 for that quart of oil. So it was like $24 for that quart of oil because they weren't just readily available. Have a good night, David. Your truck uses about 1.2 more miles to a gallon more if I use 5W30 versus 0W20. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's normal. I mean, you're putting a thicker oil in there, you're going to have more rotating resistance, so it's going to reduce fuel mileage. Would you rather add an oil additive or flush? He just said no to additives and wouldn't use a flush, just flush with new oil brand. I mean, there's a purpose for a flush. Everybody has their own opinion on it, right? So I've had customers come in with like a Explorer with an EcoBoost engine, 3.5 EcoBoost, on its deathbed, making all kinds of noises and stuff like that. I actually have a video up on the channel about it, and I wanted to see if I could save it. There was sludge and stuff inside the engine and all that. I actually ran the BG EPR kit through it, and when I was done, after all the shit that I washed out from the inside of that engine, and I let them know, I let the customer know ahead of time, when I get to dumping this additive and stuff in here and flushing this engine out, I'm not going to guarantee you the life of this engine. I'm not going to guarantee you that it makes it through the flush procedure that I'm about to put it through. It's like literally 2 hours of hell. I'm going to have high RPM, and it's going to have a chemical in there that's cleaning everything out. Then I'm going to put another chemical in after it, and then once that's done, I'm going to put oil in it with a filter, and then I'm going to dump an additive in that, and it's going to be like literally 2 hours of hell running this thing with this restoration kit. They said, "You know what, it's worth a try. Let's see if it works." And sure as shit, it cleaned that engine out and made it like crystal clean inside, and no more noises. There's all kinds of shit came out in the filters and stuff. It was nasty, and they were still driving that vehicle, bringing it in for oil changes and services when I left, and that was a year and a half, 2 years later. they were still driving it. So, I mean, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If something's already on the deathbed and you're trying to figure out why, or you're just trying to, you just bought a new vehicle and you're trying to do I don't see anything wrong with doing a quick flush. There's nothing wrong with it. Clean out some of the stuff that may be sitting around there, but understand that if you start dislodging stuff that's pressed up against seals and things like that that have been helping oil stop from leaking out of those seals, and you clean it all away, you could start introducing leaks, because there are some things clean extremely well, and will clean off sludge buildup that's actually stopping things from leaking out of the engine. So if I use flush, I use industrial stuff like stuff that's made just for mechanics, commercial use. BG, EPR, and BG MOA. The MOA is a magnesium additive that you dump in with the new oil. The BG EPR is the stuff you dump in the existing oil. And that's just a basic small kit you can find on Amazon or eBay. I got a couple of them right here on the shelf, actually. So if I do oil changes and stuff here at the house, and I get a request, here's the BG MOA and BG EPR. Part number 109 and 115. I keep a couple kits up here on the shelf. Fred, good evening. New York City is full of radical progressive Marxists. I live in New York City. It is filled with radical young people who have been indoctrinated in universities. College professors are 90% Marxist. Oh, of course they are. Well, try the AMSOIL flush. There's nothing wrong with that. Try whatever you think you want to use. All right. I want to get off of here. I've been on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's 8:09. Progressive left ideologies affecting elementary schools because of the powerful teachers union. Fuck the teachers union, man. The teachers union, a bunch of garbage. I need to watch what I'm saying. I'm going to get in trouble. So I know lately people are watching. People are watching. Oh, you got it. You got the stretch belt. Ain't none but a G thing, baby. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Well, do you have the okay, so you can use a pair of vice grips. You can get the belt started and put a pair of vice grips on it and start to turn it over, and the vice grips will hold the belt on. If you've got holes in the pulley, you can actually take a zip tie, get the belt started, and then take a zip tie and zip tie the belt onto the pulley. If you can put a zip tie through it, and as you twist it around, the zip tie will actually break on the other side once the belt seats all the way, and it'll pop off. Thoughts on running it in a Chevy 5.3 like Oil Cap says, or do you think heavier is better? I don't put no 0W20 crap in any of my cars, and I won't put them in a Chevy or a customer's car either. I don't put that 0W20 shit in anything. I put 5W30 minimum in all the Chevy products that I work on. I don't put anything 0 weight, anything 20 weight. I just don't do it. 80 a month for nothing with my union. The union dictates curriculum. Get involved and know what your kids are being taught. It doesn't have the holes, but I didn't think about the vice grips. Yeah, vice grips work as well. that's why we don't do the whole public school thing. Public schools are trash anymore. I don't trust them. That's why my daughter doesn't go to public school. She goes to a private school, a Catholic school, and that's how we like it. And they're very strict about what they teach. They watch the children very closely. There's a police officer outside the building all day, every day. So yeah. I'm going in. I'm done talking. I'm done flapping these gums. I will see y'all in the morning. I'm going to come out here and work out a little bit in the morning. And then tomorrow I'm leaving for the majority of the day. I've got some stuff to do. And I'll be back tomorrow night. So I'm not really going to have very much to say tomorrow or do tomorrow. It's going to be just a kind of a quiet day. So, y'all have a good night. I'm getting out of here. Be blessed. Take care. If you need any help, find my email in my About Me section on here. And just email me. Have a good night.